Hello, Internet! Shalthus here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. I am bringing you a Shoutcast from the Hearthstone beta, once again brought to me by our good buddy Day9, who is participating, or just participated, in the Hearthstone Invitational at BlizzCon. I think he was actually unfortunately eliminated in the round of 16, which was not streamed, but Trump is still a part of it, and Total Biscuit, of course, is casting the events which are going to be happening later today. So I think you can watch those games for free if you go to BlizzCon.com and just go to the virtual ticket stream. I think you can watch the esports stuff for free. I may be incorrect about that, so don't hold me to it. But anyway, let's get to today's game right now. It is going to be Thrall versus Garrosh. Day9 playing the part of Thrall, the Shaman. Ludikalo playing the part of Garrosh, the Warrior. So I just got through watching BlizzCon, all of Friday. It hasn't kicked off today yet, but I finished watching all of Friday, and I did 2 videos on what has been revealed for Hearthstone, and I was really excited. There's a lot of awesome stuff coming, and I hope you're all excited too. If you haven't seen those videos, and if you're not fully caught up on the new information for Hearthstone, go check that stuff out, and don't forget, in 1 month's time, Open Beta is scheduled to launch, so finally, all of you who have been eagerly awaiting participation in the beta will get to be able to, and I promise, when it launches, I will do a video especially announcing that Open Beta is up, so that all of you know to join in. But anyway, man, let us get into business here. So I have a ton of Day9 games. He did a lot of practice streams leading up to the tournament on Friday, and he was doing really well in his games that he played on the tournament, but, competition is tough, man. And I think it just got him really hard, but, in any event, we are looking at Day9 trying to decide on his move as he clicks all around on the map. But yeah, as of right now, just has a knife juggler out there. Wow. Drawing a blank after being, up and watching all these different things for so long. I also play, I also have played World of Warcraft for years and years, so I was watching all of the WoW-related panels, and also the Heroes of the Storm stuff, too, because that looks like it's going to be a fun game. I've certainly kicked around the idea of possibly casting Heroes of the Storm stuff, but I don't think I'm going to go that route. I'll kind of have to play it for a bit and see if maybe casting that game will be any interesting at all. If any of you want to see Heroes of the Storm games cast when that opportunity arises, which is going to be in the distant future, let me know. I'll be more than willing to give it a shot as long as I have a good knowledge of the actual game. But for now, I'm focusing on Hearthstone. I have decided to discontinue the cooldown show that I usually do on this. I've got plenty of Hearthstone games to do. I don't need to fill content with other games. But Day9 adjusting his volume as he waits for our warrior player to make this next move. But, alright, so a good way to kind of keep that focus off of him, since he didn't really have anything to play at this time. A lot of spell options right now, but no good 4-drop minions, nothing you can get out there at the moment. He can certainly play a Mana Tide Totem, but he's rocking a pretty large hand as it is. Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what option he's going to want to take. Forked Lightning is going to be, kind of a waste of a move. It'll take care of the minion, but I wouldn't waste it so early. Could absolutely hex it if he wanted to, but I wouldn't waste that either. So he's just going to burn another totem. It's going to be spell power this time, but I think it's okay. I'm sure by next turn, I know by next turn he'll at least be able to get something out there. He does have that Azure Drake sitting in his hand. I think he has an Earth Elemental or a Rock Elemental hiding under the first card there. It's a little hard to tell, but alright, a Wrath the Armorsmith coming out. That's going to give him a 2/2 weapon, which he will use to take care of that troublesome little totem and start to work on Day9's health. So, hand is full. He's got lots of 5-drop minions. He could play that lightning storm. No. I don't know. I don't know what move he wants to make here. I mean, getting a minion out there could be very helpful at this point. But yeah, he's in a point right now where he's got to start putting something out there. I mean, he does have enough where he could, you know, try his luck at getting another spell damage totem and then play Lightning Storm, which would at least clear the field. Well, yeah. No, he'll might clear the field if he played Lightning Storm now. Hopefully it would hit that Armor Smith or that Weaponsmith for 3 if he decides to go that route. But he may want to hold on to the coin for a little while longer. It looks like that's what he probably is doing. He hasn't really decided to go with it. He knows he can coin in one of those Azure Drakes. Could coin in the Rock Elemental. No, he's going to play Lightning Storm. Let's see how his luck fares. Oh, and he gets it. 2 and 3. Exactly what he needed. So he can hold on to that coin for a little while longer. He's going to lock down a couple of his mana into Overload. So pretty useful to have that, that coin still on hand. Alright, Novice Engineer coming into play for the opponent. Still nothing, no real dominant positions being asserted at this point. Just a little bit of give and go. A lot of armor being built up. So interestingly, he didn't attack with a weapon. I guess he wants to hold on to that for a little while longer. Or he could have simply just forgotten to attack. But we're going to have to see how he's going to want to respond here. I mean, he could play that Defender of Argus, though, you know, there is nothing to really buff it up with. I certainly wouldn't waste a Hex on a 1 damage critter at the moment. He is going to play Mana Tide. Alright, so it's going to give him an Unbound Elemental. He can probably drop that next turn. At least get some stuff out there. But he will have that mana free of Lockdown, so we'll be up to a 6-drop. So one of the things that I really enjoyed about the BlizzCon panels is during the fireside chat they did, and I talked about this in the second BlizzCon video I released yesterday. One of the cool facts they talked about was the percentage of players who are rank 3 masters in ranked mode right now who haven't spent a dime in the game, and it's 44%. So nearly half of the players who are max level never spent a single dime in Hearthstone to get that where they are. So that means they're relying on just daily quests, drops from that, basic cards, etc., etc. So it's just really interesting to see that you can be really good at this game without spending a lot of money. So on that play there, he gets that Azure Drake out and plays Forked Lightning to finish off the opposing minions. Locks a couple points of mana down again, but that's how you play Shaman. Balance your overload. You know, juggle it carefully. Don't dump it all in there, of course, but try to get as much as you can. Alright, and he is going to take out that Azure Drake and play a Kor'kron Elite. And Day 9 looking to be in a little bit of a rough position right now, but there is Feral Spirit. He could get that put out there. Again, you're looking at all of these expert level cards of the Shaman deck that start to play on the overload aspect of Shamans. And I will be talking about overload in the Shaman basic starter deck review video that I do in the upcoming weeks. But unfortunately, you don't really get to see it in practice as much as you do in, you know, with an expert level deck. But my intent is to design some good, like, general class decks that can be considered starter decks but include basic cards, so you can get an idea of how these cards work. But anyway, does get that elemental out there, a nice 7/8 minion with Taunt. Locks down 4 mana into Overload because of those 2 spells that he played, but he's in a really good position right now. Depending on what cards the warrior player has and how he wants to respond. So, as it looks right now, I mean, he does have the Defender of Argus, which he could drop out there and get some final use out of that totem card that's been silenced. Oh, Ironbeak Owl with a key silence. Still leaves a pretty dangerous minion, but no taunt. So that helps get Day 9 down to a little more of a manageable position. And another armor up for Ludikalo. So Day 9 at the 8 turn is sitting on only 4 usable mana. No coin, but he does have Hex. He could burn that to keep things a little more interesting. And he could also burn that Defender of Argus to restore the taunt and give a little bit of bonus attack back to the Elemental. And he could also play that Feral Spirits card. Oh, so he's going to drop the Flame Tongue Totem, give it a little bit of bonus attack. So we'll get some attack on that totem, get some final use out of it before moving on in his turn. So he's still in a little bit of a dangerous position, but he's got a very strong minion out there that needs to be contained by the Warlock player. He will have use of all 9 mana on the next turn, so he can get some interesting things put into play. And of course, his response is entirely up to how the Warrior player decides to play here. Could get out another one of those Elementals if he wants to lock down a little more mana. Has that Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Can get him out there to really pummel the opponent with 8 points of damage. We'll have to see. Alright, another Rothi Weaponsmith. And a Warsong Commander. And a Direwolf Alpha. Okay, so he's getting some mid-cost minions out now. Pretty well buffed. He's going to be able to take out the little guy. Or take out the big guy, I should say. No, he's actually going to bypass and just head straight to Day 9. Okay. Well, it's a risky play. I'm going to give you that much. You know, he didn't have enough to finish the job, and he's leaving Day 9 in a really good position right now. You know, it's very risky to not take out those minions, especially if you can't finish the job. It's not terrible position, because it certainly is, you know, feasible for him to recover here. But it looks like he's going to play Feral Spirits, which is going to give him those 2/3 wolves with taunt, which will generally probably keep him alive for at least one more turn. And he does have lightning bolts, which he could use to, well, he could also hex something. He's going to clear out one of those minions. And, yeah, he still has Hex available. Still has another one of those Earth Elementals available. And, yeah, he's going to replay that Earth Elemental. And he's going to do Lightning Bolt. That's going to lock down 6 points of mana on this next turn. But he is going to, you know, certainly remain alive for this next turn. There's just too much taunt out on the field for the opponent to deal with. And really, I mean, with what he has on the field right now, he doesn't have anything he can do to actually clear any of that out. I mean, he's looking at, he could sacrifice the wolf into one of those, one of his Day 9's wolves, but he'd also have to hit it with his axe, too. Alright, he's going to do Cleave, which will do a good job at clearing out a couple things, but not the things that really matter. The most important minions out there, of course, are all those taunt minions and that totem, which is now being used to buff up that particular wolf. And if it dies, it's just going to knock the other wolf over. So I don't... is he going to... Oh, he's just going to armor up again to try and withstand the punishment. I don't know if he's going to attack in with that wolf at all. If he does, I mean, it's a sacrifice either way. If he tries to attack with it, he might want to leave it out there to try and buff some things up. I mean, Day 9's probably going to kill it off anyway. So, I mean, if he doesn't kill something himself, Day 9's probably going to use one of his other minions to take it out without dying, like probably the other untouched wolf there. Interesting choice. Okay. Well, he attacked into it himself. to get a kill. He's going to play the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Battlecry won't have any effect, but only down to a 4-drop now. So we'll have to see how he wants to play here. I mean, he's looking at some pretty sizable damage that he can deal. He's finally got the warrior opponent into, you know, negative health. Not still hovering around 30 with armor. Pop another totem. It is spell power. That will allow him to clear out the Swamp Ooze with Earth Shock and start dealing some serious damage. So, warrior is almost in top draw. He might even, in fact, be in a state of top draw, depending on what that extra card is. But Day9's done a pretty good job so far of really reasserting his position here, because he is in a dominant position. He may have 10 less health, and an Arcanite Reaper coming out. That's going to allow him to do a little bit of damage. But let's see how... Well, he could play Ragnaros at this point, which could finish the game for him if Ragnaros hits. Oh, an excellent trade right there, and he's going to play Ragnaros. That is GG, absolutely. Here comes the trigger, boom, and there you have it. Very good move. So he attacks in with that totem to clear the field of minions, plays Ragnaros, which will guarantee that it would hit Garrosh, and then follows up with the Fire Elemental to solidify that comeback. So fantastic play by Day9. That's going to do it, though, for this episode of ShoutStone. We're going to be back tomorrow with the second matchup, the return matchup of these two players. Let's see if Ludikalo can exact his revenge, or if Day9 is just too much to handle. But we'll find out. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to find me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the description below. You can also subscribe for daily Hearthstone updates. And don't forget to leave a comment if you have signed up for Google+. I'm sorry about the changes. It's YouTube being stupid. And yeah, leave a comment, like the video, and of course subscribe like I said. But thanks again. I'll see you all next time.